Howdy y'all. So in addition to the retro tech stuff I do, I'm also into smart home stuff. Several years ago when I got into it, one of the first things I did was make a project that involved using one of these giant switches and having it be a smart home button. I had been using these for setting my home in different states, like away or when guests come over, you can put it in that state. And besides, it's very satisfying to just go on a big button. So I had actually been using this ESP8266 for the longest time inside one of these, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there was a couple of problems. First, it did require these to be powered on and they were tethered to the wall. And there were plenty of optimizations I probably could have made to my code, but since I was just starting out, I didn't really know that much. And what I ended up going with was just writing a program that whenever the button is pressed, it shorts the ground and the reset pins, causing it to restart. And the program I had on there basically said, hey, whenever you boot up, send out a webhook request to this specific URL. And then Home Assistant would take that URL request and then do whatever automation I had attached with it. So essentially, I would just press this and it would reset that, sending out a webhook, and then this thing would just be on until I reset it again. Really inefficient. And also, because all this is Wi-Fi based and based off of Wi-Fi webhooks, there was a huge delay. I would press this and then probably about like, I don't know, 5 to 7 seconds later, the actual task would happen. So I want to see if I can make some optimizations to this. And this time around, I'm going to use Zigbee. I already use a couple of existing Zigbee buttons, like for example, this IKEA one, which I've used for mapping Plex and YouTube on. And I also have this one, which I've printed out a caddy for, so I could actually attach this remote, which controls some lights and fans and stuff, inside here, and then it will fit in any of my Gridfinity systems. Yeah, kind of just like that. And then I can just press the buttons. And this particular one wasn't that expensive. I think it was only like $2 or $3. Basically, I was just trying to get over the $10 threshold on AliExpress in order to get free shipping. And I thought, I'll just throw in another button and figure out what I'll use for it later. So I'm going to use it in this project today. Instead of this ESP8266, I'm going to use this Zigbee button. So my general plan is I'm going to rip this thing apart and then solder the 2 pins here to wherever the button contacts on there. First up comes destruction. I've already gone and paired this with Home Assistant already, so it should be good to go once I actually get it soldered in. Oh hey, it's actually coming apart pretty easily. That wasn't bad at all. Yeah, there's the button there. Easy. Well, first I should figure out what hooks up to what. So I'm gonna need to go diagonally. This might be a good time to try out a new tool I have. Because, oh man, those solder points on this button are tiny. I got this hot air workstation I'm gonna be trying out for the first time. Wow, that worked really well. For surface mounted components, that thing's gonna be helpful. Though I might need to be a little bit more careful in the future and maybe use a tighter nozzle because it also melted some of the plastic. I don't think I damaged anything, so next up, trying to get some wires. I now have these 2 wires soldered to the switch itself, so whenever I press down, it should activate the switch like it normally would have with the other button. I have my automation set up, so whenever a state is changed on this light should come on. Let's test it out. It works. You can see the LED there, it's kind of going instantly too. So it's not instant. I mean, you can see the light go there instantly whenever I do that. And it takes maybe about like half a second, but oh man, that is a massive improvement over what I had before. In fact, let's actually directly compare it with one of the ones I had before. This particular one still has its ESP8266 in it. I have the automation set up to accept the webhook this thing receives, so it will turn on and off this light, same way that this one does with the Zigbee. Same exact automation, just 2 separate triggers. Webhook versus state change for Zigbee. So let's do this one first. Versus this one. Yeah, this one can vary in how long it takes. Sometimes it's really quick, sometimes it takes forever, but this one, nearly instantaneous. Now that I got that sorted out, let's see if we can try to shove it back in its case. And I think just for battery security, I'm gonna put this thing back on. Shove that in the corner over there. I think we should be good to go. And hey, this thing's wireless now. That's already a massive improvement over the ESP version of the project because also I didn't really have to code anything. all of the automation stuff is just done in Home Assistant. I was just able to pair this button up over ZHA and made the automation in Home Assistant. This thing is super simple to do. And while this is an improved version 2, I could see a version 2.5 in the future. Because those 2032 batteries are a little bit expensive, and I would much rather just use AA's. So I might redesign this so I could use AA's, and maybe I'll make a battery door so I don't have to unscrew the entire thing whenever I get into it. But that would have to be for another video, because just for now, I just wanted to see if this would work. So it seems you can make super buttons with existing Zigbee buttons. That'll be it for now though. So long, y'all.